Happy Halloween, Facebook. Just got done doing a spot of laundry. And I'll be doing some YouTube live videos over the next couple of days. I got 7 wands left in the batch. Try to earn some extra monies. Yeah. Indeed. I will be able to ask that chick out soon enough. Just gotta get everything in order. Indeed, happy Halloween. Hello. Yes, Riley, I think you need to confirm me on that website. So I uploaded a video showing off my Halloween costume. And this is the wand I'll take with me for my Halloween costume, just because I can stick it in my pocket of my black jeans. And, you know, it's less cumbersome. Hell yeah, much appreciated. Cool beans. Yeah, if I can make that money, man, ask that chick out. Now, people will start rumors when they're jealous. You know, it's stupid, dude. But what do you do, right? Yeah. Going pretty good, Richie. Happy Halloween. I just showed off my costume on YouTube. Too old for that, Ben Dobbins. Hopefully, they will, yes. Well, I am or was invited to hang out with some friends of mine for Halloween, so I'll be doing that. Yes, but when they see someone as tall as me, they know it's not a kid. They're like, there's no way. You know what I'm saying? No, dude, I don't trick or treat anymore. I used to when I was a kid, but not anymore. It's a little cold out, but it ain't that bad. Warm enough for trick or treating. Hell yeah. I made sure of that. As the apartment complex door is locked from the outside, no, we don't get any trick-or-treaters. Live on Facebook. Showing these off. 5 demons you should never summon. Oh my God, Google needs to listen. 5 demons you should never summon, YouTube. Let's see in this video.
Hello horror fans and welcome back to the scariest channel on YouTube, Top 5 Scary Videos, that eldritch place where all ley lines converge into a picturesque pentagram of demonological dissemination. And guess what? We're at it again. What's going on, guys? As per usual, I'll be your spirit guide, Jack Finch, as we peer back over to the Goetic Grimoires and dive back into the Lesser Key of Solomon and take a look at the top 5 scary demons you should never summon. Part 2. Well, you can't say we didn't warn you. Roll the clip.
Stars, hail, O deathless one.
Now, again, as with the first part to this video, slight disclaimer, demonology is not to be trifled with, and we're in no way encouraging you to go ahead and summon some demons, because that's never a good idea. Before we jump on into that, though, you know the drill by now. If you're a fan of this video, demonology, demon hunting, or just top 5 scary videos, then go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, as well as that subscribe bell, so you can stay up to date with our most horrifying uploads. Kicking off at number 5, Andrus. A lot of you guys were pretty vocal about him making this list, so here he is, and I'm on board with your insistence because this guy is as vile as they come. In demonology, Andrus is an incredibly unpleasant demon whose only directive was to hunt and kill mankind, aided by his henchman Flauros. As the demonic Gracia goes, the demonic Andrus was the Grand Marquis of Hell that appeared with a winged angel's body and the head of an owl, or sometimes a raven. It rides upon a strong black wolf and wields a sharp flaming sword. His main responsibility is to sow discord amongst humanity, teaching those who he favors to kill their enemies, their masters, and their servants. It is thought that he was often summoned by military leaders who would use his abilities to incite wars that would last for decades, resulting in a new definition for people, the planet, and the political landscape. Interesting. Next up at number 4, Valak. And no, not the nun. Well, kind of the nun, but yeah, not the nun. This guy is starting to get some real traction in popular culture, which, well, is kind of worrying. In the Lesser Key of Solomon, Valak is listed as the 62nd demon of hell, but is often attributed as a grand president of the demonic depths, or the city of jewels in several Sumerian texts, who thusly relies on his guile and manipulation of others. He is known as the Marquis of Snake, often attributed with the power to summon and control any serpent at will. Valak is often attributed to having the power of finding treasures, or in other terms, the power of divination and demonic insight, which he often uses as a means to discern his victims' true desires and tempt them with it. In the Dictionnaire Infernal, written by Colin de Placey and first published in 1880, Valak is depicted as a small cherub-like child with wings riding atop a 2-headed dragon, which is an accurate representation of how he uses the appearance of guile and deceit to manipulate his enemies. Next up at number 3, the Botchling, which technically is a blanket term, but it kind of rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Whether you call it the Poronish or the Dreka, this malicious demon from Slavic mythology is something that you should just totally avoid altogether. In Slavic folklore, these demons were believed to come into existence from stillborn fetuses, but also from improperly buried remains of children that had died during infancy. If you've played The Witcher 3, then you'll know what we're getting at. Not dissimilar to the Myling of Scandinavian folklore, these creatures are considered to be extremely powerful demons due to the innate potential energy caught up in an unrealized life and their particularly tragic entry into our world. Still, there's hope because, as Slavic mythology tells us, if a botchling is buried beneath the threshold of a house, then instead it would turn into a klobuk, a protective house spirit, and then everyone's a winner. Coming in at number 2, Zeminiar. Sometimes you have to save the best for a special occasion, which is why there is pretty much next to nothing known about the demon of the name Zeminiar, and that's for a good reason. Zeminiar is one of the 4 principal kings of hell as aligned in the Ars Goetia, the evidential playbook for the who's who in the demonic realm. As demonology scriptures explain, Zeminiar, alongside his 3 other kings, Amaimon, Corson, and Garp, were all supposedly constrained by King Solomon and outlined in his lesser key. It is thoroughly noted that Zeminiar should not be conjured under any circumstances, with the sole exception of an end of days occasion. Zeminiar is the king of the north, and with him he brings death and destruction, and alongside his kingly brothers, they are often considered to be an allegory of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, which is never a good sign. And finally, at our number 1 spot of scary demons you should never summon, Abaddon. And boy, is this a big bad baddie. In the Hebrew Bible, the word Abaddon is a biblical term which literally translates to place of destruction, and literally speaking is a fiery plane in the realm of the dead known as Gehenna. However, in the later teaching of Revelation, Abaddon is often referred to as a being that had become one with the abyss and personified it as the angel of the abyss. In Greek, the equivalent for Abaddon is Apollyon, which literally translates to the destroyer, which is exactly what he is. In demonology, it is often cited that even a demon as powerful as Satan openly admitted that he wishes to avoid a confrontation with Abaddon. Yeah, he's pretty super serious. He's often depicted as a large human-sized locust, or in fewer cases, an entire swarm of locusts that carry highly infectious diseases. Abaddon is said to be the plague of locusts called upon during the 10 plagues of Egypt and responsible for causing many atrocities in biblical times. In all seriousness, Abaddon is a complete enigma. At times, he's often depicted as an angel of judgment, and both heaven and hell claim him as an ally, other times as an enemy. In most texts that speak of him, Abaddon is amongst the most
interesting. Brushing up on our history.
Wyoming is a land of spectacular beauty and great history. Teddy Roosevelt loved Wyoming. He praised Wyoming's cowboy cavalry that helped form his Rough Riders. That cowboy courage and determination lives on today in our people. As a doctor, I help people get healthy again. Now, as a senator, I fight to protect our state and make our country stronger. I'm John Barrasso. I approve this message, and I'm asking for your vote.
We all know that messing around with a demon is a fool's game. We've all heard tales of people whose curiosity has gotten the better of them, and they've stared too long into the abyss, and inevitably the abyss has stared back. Now, I've got to go ahead and say this. Don't try this at home, ever. But just in case you were curious, we've compiled a list of 5 scary demons that you should never, ever summon. You've been warned.
I love a gift. Can't wait to unwrap it.
What's going on, guys? It's me, Jack Finch, your host, right here on Top 5 Scary Videos. Today, we're going to be delving into the depths of demonology and take a look at the most sinister, the most devious of demons that you should keep far, far away from. Jumping in at number 5, we have Belial. Belial, whose name in Hebrew literally translates to worthless or yokeless, was canonized as the leader of the Sons of Darkness in the Dead Sea Scrolls. If you didn't know, the Dead Sea Scrolls are an ancient Jewish text discovered in 1947, which are believed to have been written before 400 BC and refer to a wide host of demonic beings. Seriously, it's spooky how much they name drop them. In these scrolls, Belial is described as both the king of evil and the prince of darkness, which has led many to believe that Belial is a pseudonym of the devil himself. Belial is also known as the Lord of Lies and the Master of Deceit. Many texts refer to Belial as a devious He utilizes fornication, wealth, and pollution of the sanctuary to get exactly what he wants. However, in the Satanic Bible, Belial's name is suggested to translate as without a master and symbolizes independence, self-sufficiency, and personal accomplishment. It begs the question, whose side is Belial really on? Coming up at number 4, we have Surgat. In Latin, Surgat literally translates to rise and is the physical manifestation of rebellion and opposition. His angelic opposite is ACWY. To be honest, Surgat is a minor demon and is pretty weak sauce compared to some of the guys on this list. But the thing that makes him pretty terrifying is his brush with a particular pope. Written between 1150 and 1227, the Grimoire of Honorius was written by Pope Honorius III with the intention of being specifically used by a priest. Pope Honorius was obsessed with the thought of Satan invading the mortal realm, and so began preparing the Catholic Church for a war. He wrote down his findings in his forgotten grimoire, which wasn't unearthed until 1760. Honorius began his training by purposefully summoning demons and then banishing them again in a sort of weird, spooky, demonic boxing session. It proved quite effective, and the Pope soon started to get a handle on the armies of hell. He'd write down the name of each demon he fought and leave an elaborate explanation of their strengths and weaknesses, kind of like a Pokédex, but for demons. That is until he came face to face with Surgat. All that was written in his section of the grimoire was that Surgat is he who opens all locks. That was the last demon that Pope Honorius noted down in his book. Makes you wonder what happened, eh? Next up at number 3, we have the Great Duke of Hell, Berith. Also referred to as Balberith, this guy is a pretty formidable dude. Known in the Infernal Dictionary as the Great Duke of Hell, Berith commands 26 legions of demons and is a pretty big player in the fiery depths below. According to Alistair Crowley's illustrated Goetia, those that attempt to speak with Berith soon learn that he's a formidable liar. Crowley refers to him as speaking with a clear and subtle voice, and is a liar when not answering questions. To speak with Berith, the conjurer must wear a silver ring and hold it clearly to their face in respect to the Great Duke. If not, Berith will consume the conjurer for not sincerely paying their respects. Berith is often depicted as a soldier, dressed in red clothes, riding a red horse, wearing a golden crown. His main function is to corrupt those that crave power, and is often found lingering on both sides of a war. In 1612, a nun from Aix-en-Provence was possessed by Berith. During the exorcism, Berith gave up his own name, as well as the names of all the other demons possessing her, but also the names of the saints who would be most effective in opposing them. That guy loves a good fight. Bringing it up at the rear at number 2, we have Pazuzu. Dating back to ancient Mesopotamia, Pazuzu is the king of the demons of the wind. He is the bearer of storms and the bringer of drought, and is often depicted with the body of a man, the head of a dog, and the talons of an eagle. In the possession case of Roland Doe, the story that inspired The Exorcist, Pazuzu is the chief demon that possesses the boy. He is known to be an incredibly intelligent demon, and is renowned for scheming and corrupting the pure of heart. He takes most pleasure, though, from corrupting the purest of the pure, and is often depicted trying to possess children for sport. It is also thought that Pazuzu predates most other demons, and is thought to be an oberith, an ancient evil that manifested itself from the abyss and has been tied to earth for millions of years. Strangely though, Pazuzu finds reference in a huge number of ancient societies, from Mesopotamia to Sumeria to ancient Babylon. In some, he is revered as a savior and protector, others a demon who should never be summoned. Followers of the Oberith often carve wooden statues of the demon and worship him in the hope that Pazuzu will one day reveal his true name to them. No thanks. And coming in at the top spot, number 1, we have Azazel. Azazel, or Satan, or Lucifer, or the devil, or Baphomet. You know this guy. He's the king of all demonic possession, and he loves nothing more than a group of teenagers standing around a pentagram and beckoning him forward into the mortal realm. The Horn Prince is heavily related to the image of the goat, and we often see him depicted with hooves, horns, and a tail.
Cool. I don't think he's a demonologist. I think he just does YouTube videos and facts and stuff like that. Yeah. But just because it's All Hallows Eve, I figured why not watch a couple of videos like that. I've already seen part 1, but I had not seen part 2 until earlier. That's some fascinating shite. So if y'all having fun this Halloween, be safe and be smart, and I'll definitely catch you all on the flip side.